So a vinyasa is a sequence of movements in a yoga class that's very often repeated throughout the class. If you're pregnant and you're new to starting a yoga practice, this can present some challenges because when we do the vinyasa, we go all the way down on our stomachs. We are using a lot of upper body strength. And so since it's something that comes up in a yoga class so much, I always recommend that pregnant students know how to modify it so that when they see it come up again and again in the class and they watch their classmates doing the regular version, that you guys know what you should be doing with that time or what a safe way is to move through something similar. So I'm going to show you first just the regular straight up vinyasa. You'll start at the top of your mat. Most students have their feet about hip bone distance apart. And it's pretty simple. You inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank, the top of your push-up. And on the exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift the heart up for cobra pose. Exhale, release. Inhale up, back to plank. And then exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. And a class will usually take a few breaths here in the down dog. Before you inhale, look up in between your hands. And exhale, walk the hands to the top of the mat so you're back in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, release. And then inhale, rise back up to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So you'll notice there that I went all the way down on my stomach, which is probably not something you're going to be able to do in the later stages of pregnancy. So I'm going to show you a couple other options. I'm using this pillow here to represent poorly represent pregnancy, but we will take a look at two different options that you have. So if you have access to a yoga bolster at home or your studio offers them, we're going to take it and place it about halfway down on our mat. If you don't have a yoga bolster and you're doing an online yoga class, you might just stack some pillows here instead. Okay, so the first setup we want to be mindful of is when all these other students have their feet about hip bone distance apart before they take their forward fold. You're going to need to take yours a little bit wider to make room for your baby. So you'll come up to the top of your mat, feet a little bit wider apart, arms by the sides. Inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Yeah, and you'll see I have to take my legs even a little bit wider to make room here. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, release. Put your hands on the mat and then inhale, step back to plank, the top of your push-up. So for your plank here, you're going to rest your thighs on your bolster. And you'll see how this makes some space here for your baby to hang down without being pressed onto the ground. And then you can take a couple little mini push-ups here rather than going all the way down for your cobra. So you might exhale, lower down a little, as much as comfortable. Inhale, back up, back and forth, as much as you need. And then when the teacher says exhale, everyone come back up to down dog. You're just going to curl your toes under and come back up into your down dog shape. Now you'll notice before in the regular version, I looked up between my hands and I walked forward. As you get larger, that's probably going to get more and more difficult. So you, instead of walking forward, you're going to walk your hands back. Yeah, they can even come up on the bolster. And then you're back in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, release. And then inhale, rise back up to stand. And here you are at the top of your mat, just like your classmates. Now, if you don't have access to a bolster, or you're so far along in your pregnancy that even that is too much for you, your other option here, I'll show you. I'll start at the top of our mat, coming back, up and down, just like we did before. Except for this time, when you step back, you're not going to step back to plank. You can just come on down to hands and knees. And you can take what we call cat-cow. So you just inhale, lift up the head and the tailbone, and exhale, arch the spine. Yeah. Just take a few of these with your breath. And then wait for that moment when the teacher asks everyone to go into down dog. And you'll join back up. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, release. Rise up to stand. So those are your two options for doing the Vinyasa while pregnant. I hope that makes you feel a little more comfortable approaching a new yoga class.